In this video, I'm going to show you how I machined these panels used in my Slovenian Beehive project. While I do plan on using some other techniques in the future, in this particular instance, I'm going to be using my CNC. I will be starting with the bottom panel. I mount the blank panel stock on my CNC. In this case, I'm not using a waster board because we're not cutting through. And I reference the CNC to the top of the panel. I add my dust shoe and power up my vacuum and start the machining operation. These are small pilots. While they don't go all the way through the panel, I'll use them later to index some countersunk holes for the screws I'll be using for assembling the panels. And that completes the bottom panel. The top panel is identical to the bottom panel except for a dado that's placed near the front of the panel. This is used to engage the inner front panel later. As with the bottom panel, the pilot holes are added to the top panel. And that completes the top panel. I drill through the pilot holes on both the top and bottom panels. I then flip the board over and add my countersinks. And that's it. My top and bottom panels are complete. Because of the size of the front panel, I need to mill the features in two parts. First, I will mill the features shown here. Note that the stock is oriented upside down. I will then flip the stock over and mill the second set of features shown here. Okay, let's get started. Here I'm milling some of the slits that will hold the frame spacers that I'll be adding later. The small entry holes are then cut out. And the pilots for the screws that will secure the frame spacers are added. To mill the remaining features, I flip the stock over. And in this case, it's now oriented in its actual position. I then begin to mill the remaining features. In this case, I'm milling the slit for the lower frame spacer and then the large entry hole. And then finally we'll add the pilot holes for the frame spacers. And that completes the front panel. Both of the two side panels are also too large for the CNC to mill all the features at once, so they will also be broken down into 2 parts each. So part 1, I cut the features shown here, and then we flip the board and cut part 2. I place my stock on the CNC and begin cutting the features. These are the very thin slits used to align the hive separator supports. They're about a 1/16 inch deep. Really make aligning the shelves easy. With part 1 features cut into the side panel, I flip it over and proceed to cut part 2. The 2 retaining slots are first milled. And then finally I finish the front dado. The other side panel is cut exactly the same. It's just a mirror image of this side panel, so the process is repeated. I remove the panel from the CNC and drill through the pilot holes. The panel's flipped, and I then place my countersinks into each of the holes. And that's it. The panels are complete and ready for assembly. Be sure to visit the Kronos Robotics website for more information on my Slovenian Beehive project. So, until next time.